Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Paul Lopez.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul Lopez.
Morning.
How we doing?
We're doing fine. It's Tuesday. I feel excited this morning. I usually am, but...
You are not usually excited. What are you lying on a good Tuesday morning?
What are you talking about, Sabrina? Nobody knows what happens behind the cameras. When I get
Paul
on...
face when he pop in at a morning.
Exactly. When I get on here. But it just goes to show that I really enjoy my job and I really love what I do.
You do. I'm only pulling your leg. But
it's a great morning.
It is.
I was driving to work and I was just reflecting on reasons to be thankful this morning. You know, I was telling somebody yesterday that you can't control people. You can't control the way people behave around you. But there is something that you have in control, and that's you. You can control you. And a part of controlling yourself and regulating emotions, at least for me, it looks like finding ways to be thankful. Finding things to be thankful about. And it really switches your perspective, right? And so quit the complaining. And I know sometimes there's need for it. Quit the whining. You could control you while you can't control other people.
That's so true. There was this quote that I saw, or maybe it was someone talking, I don't know, maybe I saw it on TikTok, it doesn't matter. But there is this thing that I wrote down on my phone and I oftentimes reference it, and I think it really aligns with what you're saying. Whatever your brain is focused on, you're going to find things to validate it.
Yeah,
and I think that is so true. If you intentionally shift your perspective to try to find good things around you, you're going to find more good things. And so the same is true for the opposite of that. If you surround yourself with negative thinking people, or if you dwell more on the negative, you are going to find things to validate that as well. And so I'm happy this morning Paul came by with a positive mind, and so we are going to, use that to find other things to be grateful for. So for whoever's tuning in right now and you're looking for some positive thoughts, some positivity, we are starting with Paul Lopez, and we're going to move on into some wonderful conversations, Paul, that we have lined up for you guys as well. Starting off with exploring AI and the future of technology at the Belize Digital AI Summit. Also, IAS Symposium on HIV response, and we'll also be gearing up for Digi's scholarship programs. And so those are three conversations that we have lined up for you this morning. We invite you guys to get in the comment section, share your thoughts on each one of them, ask your questions as well. And then, of course, we'll try to also pull up some of those and ask our guests as well. But we do have some conversations that we want to have before as well, Paul. Some things we think our viewers should know before they leave their homes.
100%. Certainly. So these are the conversations we have lined up for this morning. First of all, PM addressed the nation yesterday on the situation regarding the transportation sector, public transportation that is, and he also spent time in that 12-minute speech to talk about the situation regarding fuel and the rising cost of fuel and how that has a trickling effect across the entire public sector, even in the country at large. So you're going to be dissecting the PM's speech, as well as talk a bit about what came out of that meeting yesterday in Belmopan at the Ministry of Transport. Secondly, Recently, UNICEF calls for urgent collective action to end violence against children. This is a conversation we are still having. Third, vape store robbed at gunpoint. I was leaving work yesterday and I heard gunshots and I said that has to be gunshots. And only to find out a few moments later that a man who actually impersonated a police officer, a pair of men that impersonated police officers, attempted to rob a vape shop. So there's a lot of angles to look at that situation from. And last but certainly not least, the Wonder Woman challenge is over, but what's just going to get started is the Wonder Woman docu-series. Yes, we've been there annually, and tonight we are launching the docu-series for the Wonder Woman competition. I did some coverage, I reported on some stories, and it was beautiful, to say the least, that challenge. And so I'm looking forward to see how that competition via the docu-series plays out.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-part docu-series, so I'm excited to also tune in and watch. We've been really on our game, just trying to collect, you know, things that are happening across the country. You know, we had Across Borders that was in the region, and so this is definitely one that you want to lock in and watch when it premieres tonight. But perhaps we should begin with what took place yesterday, Paul. I know that we had our colleagues April and Isani on the couch actively covering, you know, in studios here, bringing you the sights and the sounds from different parts of the country where there is essentially a blockade taking place. We also heard from the Minister of Transport, Minister Louis Sabané. We also heard from the Prime Minister himself calling in, and the President of the Belize Bus Association sharing what their concerns were, what led to essentially what took place yesterday. But we can say now that I think things are, for the most part, back to normal. I don't believe all buses are running yet. I know that the President did mention, Mr. Jones did mention that things might be back fully to normal Wednesday. Okay. But there was a meeting. You would also know that we saw, I believe it was around the closing of the morning show, them reach an agreement that there would be a $3 fuel subsidy for the next 3 months to cover the difference of the fuel increase that we have all been experiencing. And so we are now at that point. Yeah,
100% we are at that point. Let's talk a bit as we navigate those details, Sabrina, about the narrative. Because it's an important part of what has been taking place. How each side paints the picture of what really is happening. And I'll dare say that both sides are right and both sides are wrong.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So what the Belize Bus Association initially placed on the table when they were feeling the squeeze at the beginning where fuel is concerned, and we talked about it on set, they presented a list of 3 requests, if you will. I don't know, it was requests, right? It was, we saw it was a fuel subsidy. It was the, I think that was tied to GST. It was subsidy on equipment as well. And in there was also fuel, there was also fares, bus fares, right?
Yeah.
So to increase the bus fares. And that was the BBA's proposal from the onset. And
one or all? Or
it was for them, it was one of either, right? These are the proposals that we have on the table. And what we heard in response in the initial phase from the Ministry of Transport, we heard Dr. Zab outrightly say on Holy Thursday, we can't give the bus fare increase. That's off the table. The other 2, the subsidies, and the relief in those areas, we could consider them, though they're hard to navigate. We'll really have to have some discussions about it. So when I hear the Ministry of Transport say that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but when I hear them say that to an extent the BBA pushed this issue of fare increase and then they came back and requested a subsidy after the bus fare increase blew up in their faces, I'm saying in part that's wrong, because the subsidy has always been a part of the conversation. It's not bus fares that blow up in our face, nobody like it, so make we got to subsidy now as a second proposal. That has always been on the table. So I think that has to be corrected. But on the other hand, I think the Belize Bus Association got a little bit ahead of themselves.
In what way?
And got a little bit greedy, if you would.
Okay.
Because when they went into that meeting with the Ministry of Transport on the Friday or the Thursday, I believe, when they first threatened, remember when they first threatened a shutdown? That first time around, and Dr. Zab and the ministry called them and said, let's have a meeting at Biltmore, and they went into that meeting. When they held that meeting, on the list of demands that the BBA had, they completely threw out the subsidy. So the list of 3 that they had, they completely threw out, and they went into that meeting hell-bent on getting a fare increase, right? So,
which they wanted to just make the grounds more equal.
Yes, and that was their argument.
Because they were saying that the NBC's fares were even higher than what they were actually charging.
Yes, so that was, so yes, and you're absolutely right. What I'm saying here is the BBA now is arguing, well, we've always had subsidy on the table. This is not something new. But at the same time, when the BBA went into that meeting, they were hell-bent on the raise. They weren't too cautious or caring about the subsidy.
Yeah.
I had the list. I saw the list. It wasn't a huge part. It wasn't prominent. There was one demand, and it was fare increase, and then there was other list of things about victimization. And this is why I'm saying both parties are right and wrong, but the narrative has been thwarted in the public on both sides to save faces. And that is a part of why we are where we are today.
So why do you think the government was wrong?
Well, I was saying the government is wrong in part because subsidies was always on the table, right? That's what I'm saying. And the BBA is wrong because they're saying that we've always requested subsidy, which they're right in saying that, but wrong because their focus for a period shifted to a price increase. And we saw that a fare increase, and we saw that blow up in their faces.
I saw another interview where Dr. Louis Zabanet also mentioned that there were conversations about the fare adjustment also affecting the Belize City buses as well, and he was essentially expressing that the Belize City buses were outside of their jurisdiction.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I'm not completely certain as well, but I know that he mentioned.
Yeah, because the Belize City buses, a huge part of the controversy, I won't spend much time on this because I just want to quickly gloss over what happened yesterday at that meeting, or at least the outcome of that meeting, as you think. But with the Belize City runs, it's a part of the short stop conversations, right? Where a huge part of the issue coming out of the initial meetings was that, all right, would they approve fare increases for national runs, highway runs, but you all, the Ministry of Transport, you're giving us, the BBA, a hard time when it comes to conversations about short stops and even Belize City runs, right? And we also want that as a part of the deal. And so in terms of increasing fares or making adjustments. And so that leads us now into yesterday. And so the decision made yesterday in that meeting for the $3 subsidy, that's across the board now. So it's not only for national, it's not only for the highway, it's across the board for the highway, for short stops, for Belize City. And I understand there'll be a small increase in fares. So they're back to the fares. I'm thinking, Sabrina, if we had the discussion about subsidies from the onset, if we had that discussion, if our focus was there from the onset, then I don't think we would have to go through all of this.
Yeah.
Like we got all the way around the mountain. Get this one here upset, mash this one here toe, throw this one here down the hill, and we end up right back to the same spot where the conversation should have started.
Well, I want to take the conversation to you guys tuning in, because I saw a lot of us all locked in yesterday on Open Your Eyes as that conversation was taking place. We mentioned that we even had the Prime Minister on the phone line with us. Now, for you guys tuning in, what was the experience like for you yesterday? I'm talking commuters who had to catch the bus. Were you watching Open Your Eyes on your devices as you were going to work? Let me know what that experience was like. Was this an inconvenience for you as you were trying to make your way to your work? Were you stuck on the road as there were blocks of different passageways? We would like to hear your individual experience in the comment section.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I would like to contribute to this, and just before I do that, I want to read a comment here. We have April tuning in. April said, "Morning, my beautiful hosts." Agreed, Paul. No one wanted to take responsibility for their actions. When the commuters got upset over the prices, everything blew up.
Yeah,
and in the
biggest
biggest irony, the commuters were still caught in the crossfire yesterday. Now, and that's what I wanted to point out, April, because that is exactly the experience that we observed. But I also will say there were some commuters who were in support of the bus association.
100%.
Some of them were, sitting back and saying, we want to sit down, we want to support the bus, because there was also the narrative that we are doing this for our commuters. Mm-hmm. We are fighting back the government because we don't want the prices to affect our commuters. Mm-hmm. And there's something that I also wanted to mention, Paul, because I think yesterday also represented what could happen when these small sectors, these small pockets and sectors that you would quite easily overlook.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much that could shut down the show, Paul.
That like when you go a flu and you're stuffing and can't breathe, you take for granted all the days when you can breathe properly.
And that's what I think yesterday really showcased. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have the National Bus Company, and they tried to do damage control earlier by renting other buses to meet the need, because I'm guessing they were aware that this would have taken place. But that didn't really do much help. I mean, we saw what took place yesterday. When you think about the transportation, the public transportation industry here, or sector, that is something that we definitely saw the impact of when, it just stops for even an hour, when it stops for 2 hours. In other cases, we've seen what takes place when the garbage truck isn't functioning here in Belize City. And so I think it really goes to show, there are these sectors that they really serve a purpose. And this is, I think, the Belize Bus Association knew that. They knew that the government would have to bring them to the table if they close down just for an hour.
I heard the question being asked yesterday, but what did BBA want? And I think that question originated out of how murky the water got. Mm-hmm. The water got so murky that people begin to question what the BBA want. And that's a part of my issue with that. But Sabrina, let's also look at the Prime Minister's 12-minute speech from yesterday. Let's look at that quickly.
So he acknowledged the bus situation,
thing.
what they provided.
He confirmed the $3 subsidy. He confirmed the, outside of the $3 subsidy, he confirmed the increase. But the PM is also saying that not only the bus sector, let me start here. We finally have some figures in terms of how the government of Belize is offering relief at the pumps. We've heard the Prime Minister say repeatedly, after we reduce tax, after we take on some of the burdens, and we've always been asking, and I've asked in interviews, but how much tax do they take off, PM? How much relief exactly do they give the people? They haven't shown us the book, the black and white, but the Prime Minister has finally provided some numbers. And this is what he's saying. That's right. So if you haven't listened, this is what the Prime Minister is saying. He's saying that the government of Belize, that on their excise tax on regular gasoline has been cut by 68 cents.
Yeah.
So 68 cents they're cutting per gallon on regular fuel. So they're saying that's the losses they're taking. And reduction on diesel, right? I have it here. Regular and charged diesel cut by $1.55.
That's supposed to add up to roughly 60 million less in taxes for the year.
60 million less in taxes. They've always thrown around that figure, right? The 60 million, they've been throwing it around for weeks. So thank you, PM.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping us to better understand how much taxes, excise taxes, you all are observing, so that the cost of diesel and the cost of regular fuel is not higher than it is currently, which is already exorbitantly high. Now, where public officers are concerned, I know a lot of them is shaking at their shoes right now, because the PM basically said we have to buckle up, we have to tighten our belts. One of the things he's saying is that we're going to cut down on international travels. You could imagine, Sabrina.
Well, before that, he also mentioned...
I know that one. I know it said a lot of things before that, right?
But international travels, yes.
Yes, so he talked about cutting back on international travels because it comes with a lot of subsistence, and they're going to have to cut down on those subsistence, and they want to start got international meetings via
virtual,
Zoom.
Zoom in now. And I mean, it just kind of takes you back to COVID times. It's not very it's not something new. But he did express different ways that they are trying to cut back to save some money and to essentially have something for us to fall back on because of the prices from fuel. But I listened to the video closely, and I was trying to interpret how a regular Belizean would take this information. Would this be comforting to them? And that's a question that I want to pose to you guys now. Also tuning in, we're reading your comments. This was the speech given to us by the Prime Minister after what took place yesterday, which was really just a signal of the frustration that everyone is having. I remember last week when we were stopping on different parts of Belize City and asking them how are they planning to adjust to the new bus fares. I believe it was you, Paul, that did that story. And there were also people in the comment section saying that I switched to public transportation to try to save money. And now I find myself probably even spending more by switching to public transportation. And so I think people, they just want to know how this will affect them individually. Hearing this from the Prime Minister, ways that they are trying to cut back by cutting on different capital projects. He said that they're freezing 30 million in capital projects, cutting 25 million from ministry budgets, and then of course telling ministers, zoom in. We know I catch no flights and go to any meetings and conferences anymore. You guys will show on a presence virtually. Is this comforting to you? Does this feel like a step in the right direction? I think people, they just want to feel some type of relief. And so for a lot of people, they were saying, drop the gas prices. Is that a realistic thing that we think the government can do? When these oil prices shoot up, it's already up 75 or 76% in the last 3 months. Is it realistic for us to see the government drop the prices at the pumps? I'm not so sure, especially when other parts of the world are also feeling the very same impact that we are. And so I think seeing these little steps taking place, it should be comforting to us. I know we always kind of nudge the ministers and the Prime Minister and say, use your own personal vehicle. You don't have to use the public transportation or the vehicles that are assigned to you. Cut back on the gas and all of that.
Well, that's one of the areas that he says they're cutting back on.
Exactly. And so that's one of the areas that we are now seeing the Prime Minister say they will also do that as well.
Yeah, just lastly, what I didn't hear him say was that they'll address the ballooning the wage bill by perhaps putting a moratorium on hiring, whether it's open vote workers, whether it's contract workers, etc., so that the ballooning wage budget does not continue to increase, right? So we are putting a stop on that. We not hire no nobody for political favors. We not hire no nobody because we favor you and we think you want to do a good job, but you need one lead ends for meat, right? I think that's something he missed, but he said that if the prices continue to go up, they'll have to consider other measures. So we'll just wait and see what happens as this war continues.
And
in the Middle
let's
East.
not forget, bringing it right back to the Belize Bus Association, this is for 3 months. And so that means 3 months away, if the fuel prices continue to climb, we might be revisiting this very same conversation again. But that does it for some of the things we think you should know this morning. We invite you guys to share your thoughts in the comment section as usual. And as we move things along, we'll be taking a quick break now, but don't go anywhere when we come back. Our first conversation in terms of guests joining us is exploring the Belize Digital AI Summit.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
My bro, take a quick pic of you right here, bro.
Alright, wait a second. Why? By the looks of it, I think my phone done.
Bye. Please tell me, I want to use that thing again, bro.
If I be serious and I be honest with you, I can't afford to spend big money on phone right now.
Bye, but who said anything about spending big money? Smarter than that agric. They got phone deals, plans, they have everything that agric right now.
No, man.
But yes, it happen right now. Plus, they even have raffle and they raffle money, then they raffle TV, everything.
Well, I think we need to ride the agric right now.
I agree, let's go right now.
Visit the Smart Booth any of the 3 days from May 1st to 3rd at Agric 2026. Get amazing deals on phones and plans and your chance to win a cell phone, 55-inch TV, and cash. Smart, bringing people together.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
My name is Dr. Rosita Jimenez, and I'm a general laparoscopic surgeon. We have just finished an emergency appendectomy, and we're now moving on to our second operating theater for our laparoscopic gallbladder screening. Basically, this is very easy to diagnose. Simple abdominal ultrasound or a pan-abdominal ultrasound can give us the diagnosis. Laparoscopic gallbladder removal surgeries, 90 to 80% of the time, are done due to gallstones. However, there are other conditions like tumors, malfunctioning of the gallbladder, that also are reasons to get a laparoscopic surgery. We also have an amazing CT scan and X-ray unit who work hand in hand with our doctors. Instruments used in laparoscopic surgery are chokers like these. It makes it easy for us to do the surgery through these entry ports. The recovery process is excellent. Basically, within a week, you are back up, ready to do your job, your daily life activity, like if you hadn't had this surgery.
Nokshe Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism, so we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our first conversation with our guests this morning, and it's all about exploring AI, that's artificial intelligence, and the future of technology at the Belize Digital AI Summit. We are joined this morning by Minor LaRue. He is the managing director of Avant-Garde, and he's also joined by Mickey Bowen. He is the head of creative at Ad Conversion, and also Azalia LaRue. She's the managing director of Meta Belize. And also joining us virtually is Efren Perez. He's the president of the Belize Tourism Industry Association. Guys, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, artificial intelligence and the future of technology. Now, this will all take place at the Belize Digital AI Summit. I was telling them earlier that I can definitely see young persons there, older persons there, people who just want to understand AI better, and those who would like to take advantage of all that is available there. I think some of the things that we are still actively learning, all at the same time at this summit. Let's begin with the purpose of it. Mr. LaRue, you are one of the persons organizing this through Avant-Garde. Tell us a bit more of why you're deciding to do this.
Well, thank you and good morning. Well, one of the biggest challenges we've seen, as you mentioned, is, AI has rapidly evolved and there's so many questions. Some people are afraid of it, some people are puzzled. Some people are perhaps using it the wrong way. And we at Avantgarde do a lot of digital marketing training specifically, and so our clients have been asking for an event like this. So last year was the first one, it was a success, and this year we're taking it a notch farther. We have 13 different speakers. Of course, when you think about AI Summit, it is so broad-based in terms of different industries, and unfortunately, it's just a one-day event.
Yeah.
We did have a couple of people calling, is there going to be a segment on accounting? Is there going to be a segment on engineering? And while we don't, the general learnings from the AI Summit in terms of how to be more efficient, what tools to use, how to get acquainted with them, is definitely going to benefit a lot of middle management, everyone who's just curious about learning more about AI. And generally Belize can't stay behind. So this is just a grain of salt towards putting Belize more
Give us an
forward.
idea of how advanced AI is and what we could use it for. Because for a lot of people, when we think of AI, we think of ChatGPT. We think of having a relationship with chat. Some people even name it. Some people use it as their personal therapist, and we can probably get Ms. Azalia in that conversation a little bit later. Yeah. But how advanced is this piece of technology?
Well, with it being more advanced, there's also a lot more guardrails. So there's a lot more, and for redundancy purpose, more guardrails than when it just launched. So there's more safety, if you may, but some of the things that you can do, I'll give you a couple of examples. My team uses to maybe craft emails. I'm using it more to analyze data, to create forecasting for some of my clients, and so that gives me a sense of direction. A lot of times my clients want to know, hey, what's my low season going to be looking like? And so I'm able to crunch 5 years of data on specific, which data is very hard to find, and I'm able to use it and analyze it. With AI, you can give it rules. So you can say, you know what, I want you to behave as your global marketing research strategies. And then once it's put on that cap, then you're able to do a lot more. So it depends on the different levels that you are comfortable using it. And also, one of the things that I do also stress a lot is make sure when you input the data, it's not anything that's copyright. So I do manipulate the data before I put it into any of the AIs that I use. We use it for SEO, we use it for web, we use it for emails, we use it for analyzing marketing research. The uses are so many to just mention.
I want to bring Mr. Bowen into the conversation since you're talking a bit about marketing. How does AI and marketing, or where do they converge? I think when we think about traditional marketing, it's usually you have an office, you have your team of marketers, if you would, and they make phone calls, they send emails, they go out and they try to get the sales as well, and they market the business or the company. What has AI done to elevate what we know traditionally to be this space?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, and good morning. What we're seeing with AI, in my view, especially in Belize, is the opportunity to leapfrog old technologies. We've had a wild run in the last year, especially. It feels like if you know math or calculus, there's this trend where you kind of grow slow, and eventually you hit this elbow. And I think it feels like in 2025, 2026, we've really hit the elbow. And so now it's just skyrocketing. In terms of applications that we can use specifically for marketing, as Minor shared, analyzing data and looking at data sets that are already existing. It used to be that in marketing, back in the day, we were putting out billboards, we were printing t-shirts, and you never really knew what the outcome was. But now with direct marketing, with digital marketing, what you can do is you can run an ad or run a campaign of ads and then see whether or not people are engaging.
Yeah.
So at ad conversion, We focus on software that is for businesses specifically. So when we put out an ad campaign, we can see the engagement. We can see whether or not people are looking at the ad, clicking on the ad. If they land on a landing page, we can see whether or not they're scrolling the landing page or bouncing immediately. Maybe they read the headline and then they clicked on a button or started a form. If they complete the form, they become a lead. So we have a funnel system where we can identify, is someone engaging with your ads? Is someone actually going to click on your ads and land on your landing page or on your website? And then do they actually fill the form and become a lead? Or in the case of D2C products like direct to customer, it would be actually your campaign can lead to a direct sale. So with AI, what we can do now is accelerate this process of digital marketing by analyzing those data sets and then even producing the ads and landing pages using AI. We can generate images with AI. We could take your product and place it in a new environment. We could come up with the content for your website or your landing page based on existing data that we know already works. So analyzing headlines or body copy from other existing websites or landing pages that we know were working, take that and then manipulate it or change it based on like whatever psychological principle we want to test. And then from there we get to, again, take that data and then analyze it using AI.
How does these strategies then translate into revenue, into income, which businesses, that's what we're really after?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And that is ultimately the goal and the main question. So it depends on what kind of industry you're in, of course. But yeah, so in the tourism space, for example, if you're running a campaign, then we can collect a prospect or someone that is searching for a vacation, for example, and then they will follow that path all the way through to booking their hotel, booking their tour, maybe even booking a spa date. And then in the business-to-business space, it's a little bit more difficult. It's what you call attribution, but it's a little bit more difficult to understand, did somebody buy? The buyer journey can be all over the place. Yeah. But ultimately, at the end of the day, driving revenue is ultimately the goal. And with AI solutions, we have even more clarity on attributing the role of the marketing in actually closing the deal.
I love that.
Now, I want to get Mr. Perez in the conversation, and I'm really looking forward to including Ms. LaRue, Ms. Azalea LaRue, lastly in the conversation to get a little bit more deeper into perhaps the emotional intelligence aspect of it. But Mr. Perez, you are joining us to perhaps speak more about the tourism opportunity here with this summit. Let us know, what was the interest from the BTIA's perspective?
Well, thank you very much, Sabrina and Paul, for having us. I think for us it's very important because AI is no longer the future. The reality of it is that AI is the present. This is where we are now. Artificial intelligence is already transforming how travelers are discovering destinations, making booking decisions, and even travel experiences. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to one of the travelers that, we had visiting Belize. And curiously, you ask them, how are you finding certain destinations? How are you finding certain hotels? And they are looking at AI. They go into ChatGPT and where can I explore in Belize? True. And an entire itinerary is being given to them. So it is very important at this point in time for us to be able to have the hoteliers or tour operators really add that content onto the web, and really so that AI could be able to pull this out and give them that information. Tourism, as you know, contributes significantly to Belize's GDP, employment, foreign exchange. And so it is very important, it is critical for us to be able to have our tourism industry into that innovation space for us to be able to give that information to travelers at their fingertips.
Yeah. So the idea from the tourism perspective is one person's go on these AI platforms and type in where's the best place to go in Central America or where's the safest place to go in the Caribbean. It's to find a way to make Belize stand out. And you are perhaps hoping to use this summit to understand how you can include Belize in that prompt?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that right now, the importance of this for the tourism industry is certainly for them to be able to jump on technology. There's so many things that we can do. We're looking at emerging markets in Belize. We're looking at the Latin American market. We're looking at European markets. Sometimes, especially when it comes to the Latin American markets, you find that language is certainly a barrier. And so I think AI poses that bridge, or that we are able to make sure that we're responding adequately, especially when you don't have somebody that's bilingual on your team. But more importantly, like I said, I think just generating the information and having it available, producing content that AI can grab and really contribute towards assisting these travelers in terms of decision making, destinations in Belize. I think that is critical for us at this point.
All right. Well, I want to take the conversation over to Azalea. Now, when we talk Meta, oftentimes you guys might be thinking, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, the entire ecosystem of social media platforms. But this morning, we are actually talking metacognition, and I think it's an interesting perspective to bring to this conversation where AI is concerned, because for a lot of us, we also go to AI for advice. We want to hear what ChatGPT has to say about our problems. Ms. LaRue, what are you bringing to this summit in terms of Meta?
Right. So I'll be speaking, and the headliner of my topic is Beyond the Answers. Right. So we understand that artificial intelligence is here. What we're seeing is that there is a fear in all industries, right? Think about last year, we spoke about, is it going to replace my jobs? And this is in the work field. In education, we see, are they just copying answers? How are we going to grade? How are we going to use assessments, right? Right. And then we have in the mental health field, how do we create these guardrails and policies that we don't have people going to AI, finding these answers that tell you to, okay, you can go kill yourself now. And this is real. And I say it as real as it is because it has happened, all right? So what I'm hoping to do in this short space of time that I will be presenting is to have people understand that it's not about fear, but it's about creativity. It's about using the answers now that I have the answers and applying critical thinking to it. And that's been for years, as in academia, that's for years that we're like, how do we get them to think critically, right? So there's the answers. So I'll be talking about rubrics, changing the way we create these rubrics, using AI in education, using it in supervision, right? Getting them to reflective supervision. You have the answers, now what, right? We don't just take it, we use it. And so we've heard that here, right? And also using AI within industries, within your team, right? So you've heard, and I think it's always been there. It's nothing new. It's now more accessible. That's all. So before, not everyone could have just go into ChatGPT and now there's different ways we can use it. For example, in my industry, I use it a lot to engage my students. I use it to create presentations that are engaging, right? So there's different tools that we use. So I will go deeper into understanding these tools and understanding how do we move away from it's going to replace my job into creating new skills, right? And so it's just let's say in the year 2030, and this is in a survey that was done, that in the year 2030, it's not that it's going to replace jobs, you're going to need new skills, right? So it's upskilling those jobs within the workforce. So that's where
Yeah.
All right.
I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying there. How challenging is it for people to, based on your observation, think critically about the information that AI generates versus just leaning completely on it and saying, you know what, this is what it is, and I'll just take it at face value.
Right. How challenging? That's a good one. I think we are very, as human beings, we tend to be very vulnerable in thinking less than. And so now we have this machine. So, hey, the machine must know better than us.
Of course.
But it doesn't, even in research. So I'm doing my research right now. And there are many times that same machine will come up with a whole new study that doesn't exist. So if I don't read it myself, if I don't go look for that study in the literature, it's not even there. It's just giving you, it's taking what you're giving it and it's giving you basically what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So if you don't question it with curiosity, if we don't begin to do that, we just rely on it, we're not in the year 2030, guess what? You're not going to be useful anymore. Because if you can't think critically, if you can't make ethical decisions with what it's giving you, how useful are you? These guys are talking about using it to analyze. That's what they do. It simply puts it together, but then we have to know exactly how are we going to use this data to complete a sale, right?
Yeah, good. All right, so going back to the summit itself, let's look at some of the speakers that we have and what the day will look like.
All right, perfect. So we have a series of 12 different speakers packed in one day. And they range from, Mickey Bowen, who's going to be talking about how to use AIs and the different tools for small businesses. We have also David Cabrera, who's also the AI Executive Director for Centromipe, which is like the bell trade of all of Central America. And what he brings to the table and why I keep bringing him again this year is because last year he gave us an x-ray of where we were at as a region. He spoke very briefly about Costa Rica and El Salvador making great strides in AI from a government perspective and how forward-thinking they were. And so this year he's going to give us an update on that, on the region where Belize is, and there were several projects we were going to be working on. We also have a professor in marketing from the University of Almeria. His name is Jose Luis Ruiz, and he's going to be bringing to the table, just more tools to, ramp up your digital marketing. We also have someone from cybersecurity, from Fortinet. We also have someone coming in from Digi, so I have to big up Digi, it's one of our biggest sponsors as well. And then we also have somebody else from academia as well, Dr. Adrani Coleman. She's going to be talking about how to utilize AI specifically for education. And so while it's some marketing segments, some education segments, in the afternoon, one of the highlights is Jimmy Pons, who was here last year, and he's going to be doing a workshop. So more hands-on. Last year, he shared with us some of his prompts were like 3-4 pages long. So he really got you thinking. That's
my entire essay for my class requirement.
Yeah, so he really...
And that was a prompt.
And that was a prompt for him, right? And so I think he brings a lot to the table. He's been using AI since it was known as AI. And so those are really some of the highlights. And then at the end, we end with a cocktail where everyone can mingle and, get in your one-on-one questions with the speakers. So I think it's going to be a great event. Who should attend? I think middle management, anyone who's curious about AI, anybody who wants to become efficient at scale, very important. As Alia mentioned, some of the things that we need to skill up, we're not looking at it yet. Some of the skills we need, we may not be, we have not identified as yet that is needed, right? So I think this is a great eye-opener for anyone who's curious about AI.
How do we get tickets?
Well, we have the webpage. We have only 19 tickets, as I checked this morning.
Available?
We're only available.
Wow. So there's huge interest in this.
There
event.
is, yes. Okay. And so you could visit aisummitbelize.com where you can purchase the tickets. Like I mentioned, we only have 19 tickets left. We only have 100 spaces.
What's the price of the tickets?
It's $600. You know, and a lot of these presenters are coming from the U.S. and Europe. Yes. So it's a pretty hefty bill to bring them here to share their knowledge for one day.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all the best with this event, and thanks for being a part of this conversation this morning and helping us to better understand how AI is being applied, but also how you all are giving back to growing this space in Belize. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. All right. Well, at this time, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are switching into the IAS Symposium on HIV response.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, construction projects can receive insurance coverage from start to finish? We offer a variety of bonds. This includes bid bonds, advance payment bond, performance bonds, or others. Let Home Protector be a part of your team and help safeguard you through your next project. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Hello, I am Roy Reyes, owner of Fina Purified Water Corozal Tong. I am the proud owner of 3 jack trucks. These trucks are very reliable, spacious, fuel efficient, and I would advise any business owner, try Jack. You'll be very satisfied with their performance.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Tourism in the Caribbean is evolving, and the way we grow it matters more than ever.
The Sustainable Tourism Conference 2026 is the Caribbean's premier space for forward-thinking tourism leaders. The conference will be held in San Pedro and Burgess Key from the 27th to the 30th of April, and the conference is hosted by the Belize Tourism Board and the Caribbean Tourism Organization.
If you are part of the tourism industry, whether in hospitality, a tour operator, or managing a destination, this is for you.
This year's theme, Tourism in Full Color, explores how we grow tourism sustainably and inclusively across the blue, green, orange, and purple economies.
You'll gain practical experience, connect with regional and international leaders, and you will drive the future of tourism in Belize and the wider Caribbean.
And getting involved is simple. Registration is quick and easy with multiple payment options to suit your needs.
So, if you've been thinking about attending,
now is the time.
Join us.
See you in Belize at STC 2026.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. This is our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about the AIS Symposium that's set to take place tomorrow. And we have joining us on set to tell us all about it, as well as the work that's going on in this sector. We have Dr. Omar Sued, who is an International AIDS Society, a member of the International AIDS Society Governing Council, and he's an HIV advisor for the Pan American Health Organization for Latin America and the Caribbean. I could tell you more about him, but I'll end it right there. And we also have Dr. Joshua Canole, who's an Assistant Deputy Director of HIV and Tuberculosis at the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's a pleasure having both of you on set. Perhaps we could start with you, Dr. Canole. The AIS...
IAS.
AI, right?
Yeah.
IAS Symposium. My apologies. Explain to us what the symposium is about and what it hopes to achieve.
Well, the IAS Symposium is the first in Belize, the first in Central America. It's happened around the world before, but the first time in our little region, which is a big achievement for us. It is about uniting. We're thinking about science with the community and how we go about accelerating the HIV response. And this is very important because we find that we have the tools. We need further community engagement. So it's very exciting for us.
Now, let's bring Dr. Sued into the conversation. What's your role? What are you tasked with for this symposium?
Well, the International AIDS Society is a big society. It's 10,000 members around the world. So the most important activity that the society do is the biannual conference on AIDS. This is a large conference that where all the advance that we see in HIV, that there's a lot, is presented every 2 years, and the next one will be in July in Brazil, in Latin America. So in the middle of these two conferences, the educational fund from the IIS is doing this small workshop in different countries to try to raise awareness, to try to promote a dialogue between the organization, the civil society organization and the government, and try to also to look opportunities for improve in different places. So my role is represent Latin America in the board of the International AIDS Society, where all the decision about where to do the next conference, what to do for better training, what action to do to better promotion are taken.
How have you seen the response transform over the last decade or two?
Wow, this is a great question. When I was just graduated, I really wanted to do HIV because I was a student in early 90s, and I was people dying for this unknown infection. There was not the virus identified yet. So my first teaching class, and I was 22 years old, it was almost 30 years ago. Don't make the con, sorry. So the first lesson was how to tell a young man that will be die soon, because this 25 years old guy has failed to sidobudin was the only thing we had at that moment.
What's that?
Sidobudin, AZT.
Okay.
It's a ARV, antiretroviral treatment that existed back then.
Yeah, the first drug that was discovered for HIV. But as was a very old drug, only had a limited effect, and the people became resistant, or the drug was toxic. So we know at that moment that this guy will die in 6 months. So I had to say, hey, please fix your thing, talk with your family. If you have any problem with your mother, try to resolve, because she will continue, you will not be here anymore. If you have a car, sell the car, because for your mom will be difficult to do that. And it was very, very hard to learn this at a very young age, because I wanted to help, I wanted to treat patients, and we didn't have any tool for that.
And
today, we have a rapid test, so very effective. I mean, you can go to any clinic here and say, I want an HIV test. In 15 minutes, you will have a very safe, predictive test that even in some organizations, you can have a self-test. It means like you don't need a finger prick. I mean, you go to Belize and they put something in the mouth, and you have the HIV test at that moment. You have a prevention. I mean, if you had any risk the last night, you get drunk, and you are worried about that because you have unprotected relationship, you can go to the hospital and they can provide you with prevention for 1 month. This means this exposure will not have any effect because you will be protected. And then you
through medication.
It's 1 month of medication to prevent that if you have exposure to the virus, you don't get infected.
What do you call that?
Yeah.
PEP, that's the PEP.
Yeah. So that's PEP. That's after you've had, maybe it's, let's say, a night out, something happened.
You have PrEP and you have PEP.
PEP is afterwards.
Yeah, but PrEP is before.
Yes.
Like
Prep is before.
prepare you.
Exactly. So if you know that you will be continue having some lapses or some situation, or maybe you can go and prep. And you, as you are a woman, you can decide if you want to be pregnant or not. You can take
birth control.
Birth control
How,
pill.
how has all of this advancement improved the quality of life versus speaking to that young man 25 years ago?
Incredible, because this is not the best part. The best part is the treatment.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
If you are diagnosed with HIV positive and 25 years ago I had to tell you you will die, today I will say, okay, this is an infection, it's a chronic infection, it's only one pill a day, you can take every day, you will not have problem. There are other countries that has access to an injection that is given every 2 months also for treatment. Actually are 2 injections, not only 1, but anyway. So soon we will have also injections for not taking pill every day, and then you will not be transmitting the infection. You know, if you are undetectable, if you don't have virus in the body, you cannot transmit this. So you can have sex with your partner without condom because you are HIV
and not
treated.
transmitted.
You are not negative, you are HIV positive, or you are undetectable. You don't transmit HIV if you have a viral load that is negative. This is crazy. I mean,
That's what you would call virally suppressing it, right?
Exactly.
I love that we essentially took a look back and reflected on 10 years ago versus where we are now, because I know that globally UNAIDS or UNAIDS, they have that 95, 95,
Exactly.
95 target, which essentially means that the hope is that 95% of people living with HIV would know their status, and of that 95%, they would also be on treatment, and that 95% would also be HIV suppressed, which is what we were just speaking about. I want to pose this question to both of you. Of that 95, 95, 95 target, where are we globally? And Mr. Kanu, I want a Belizean perspective. Where does Belize fit in that? Are we meeting a similar target here locally? Can we begin with you, Mr. Sued?
Yes, of course. We are in 84% of people knowing the status. It's quite good number. The problem is we still have 15% people that doesn't know, never did a test in his or her life. And these people arrive to the clinics very late. 40% in the world, more or less, arrive when the natural immune system is really bad. And this means a lot of risk for opportunistic infection and potentially some clinical problems. So if we could be able to transmit that, it is very important to know the status. It will be great because everybody will appear to the clinic much earlier. I mean, the problem is the stigma, because from the beginning, 25 years ago, there was nothing to do. The people could die, the people could transmit the infection to other doesn't want to be infected, and so it was very easy to stigmatize these people. Say, okay, this is a problem for gay people, this is a problem for transgender, this is a problem for sexual workers, but this is not my problem. But today we know these people doesn't transmit if they are undetectable. So
I don't know
this
that
is a problem.
I don't know that we fully know or we fully embrace that people you can actually not transmit, even though
because of
this
the stigma.
is magic. Exactly.
And we could talk a bit more about the stigma, but to Sabrina's question to you, Dr.
Where does Belize stand against those targets
So
right now?
similar to like what Omar mentioned, we have around 80% of people who have HIV that know their status. We're still missing the 20%, the 15% to reach that 95. But then there's a steep drop between knowing your status and people who are on medication. Because while people might access service, they do not continue on medication. And if you don't continue on medication, then you can't be virally suppressed, which means then that if you're not virally suppressed, you can transmit the virus. The important thing that we want people to know is that if you know your status, there's something you can do about it. HIV is no longer a death sentence. And when you take your medication daily, the way you're supposed to take it, then your viral load becomes undetectable, which means then you can no longer transmit the virus to anyone around you. And I think that's one of the biggest changes that we've seen. And we used to go from 3 medications, now we're at 1 pill a day. one pill a day to keep you virally suppressed for you to live a long, healthy life, and you no longer have to worry about it. I mean, it's easier to treat than hypertension and diabetes.
That's crazy.
You understand?
And what does accessibility look like?
Well, accessibility. All government facilities across the country, so all health regions, all districts have facilities where people can access their medications, their ARVs. And these are brought in free of cost, no cost to you. To get your follow-up tests, no cost to you. To get PrEP, no cost to you. To get PEP, no cost to you. It's totally free. And this is also thanks to the government of Belize that provides this. I mean, me and Omar were discussing recently, Belize has some of the most advanced HIV response because we have different tests for advanced HIV, for the self-testing, for viral load, for CD4 monitoring, and not all countries have this blessing that we have. And so it's important for us to, want to tell the community, it's important for you to know your status. And when you know your status, there is something you can be done about it. If you know your status and you're negative, then you can apply for PrEP, you can get PrEP, and it's open to men, women, even if you're pregnant, you can be on it. And if you are positive, then of course there is further service, there is medication that can keep you undetectable, and you can live a healthy life. Your partner can be negative, you can be positive, and you guys can still have a long, healthy life together if you're on the medication.
How do you, doctor, recommend we address this issue of stigma?
Well, this is important also. For this is important also this concept about no transmission. It's U equal U, undetectable equal untransmittable. This is clear because when you do surveys to people, there are a proportion of participants that say, I would not buy food from somebody that is HIV positive. I should say, why not? Come on. You know, the only thing they can transmit is blood. When you see the blood or during the sexual relationship without protection, if the people is not treated. So why you will not include these people as a friend, as in your family, where you will be cleaning the glass when somebody take. In my country, we drink mate a lot. You know? I don't know if you saw.
Mate is.
It's so good, and it's also very social because you share the
same tea, right?
Exactly, and you
Uruguay.
share the draw.
Yes. And a guy actually had some, and I was like, "What is that?" And he actually gave me to drink from his cup.
Yes.
I was like, wait. But that's the thing.
But if you are HIV, you are forbidden to take mate for your family sometimes. You say, "Come on, guys, you need to understand that this is not a way that HIV transmit. Today, if you are HIV positive, you can, for example, you can do everything that you want. You can have a baby for natural delivery. You can have conceive the baby without protection. You can give breastfeeding to the baby if you want. There is some places in Spain and US that if you are HIV positive, you can donate your organ to other HIV positive people. So you don't have limitation. The only limitation you will have is blood. To give blood because we are not so advanced to really clean all the blood, but you can do a normal life. And I started studying for disease that was killing young people, and now I need to learn how to try old people, because the people is living longer. All these people that used to die in 20, 30 now this is the new problem now. We have people with HIV 60, 70, 80 for 20, 30 years old. We need to be geriatricians, for the patient now. And this is good news. And so in my other role, like the advisor for the Pan American Health Organization, I need to transmit this. I need to transmit the HIV is potentially a disease that can be eliminated. In health, when we say elimination, we don't say it's not anymore, like eradication, like the viruela. We say variola. We say elimination is, okay, maybe there are some cases, maybe there are some deaths, but this is not imposing a big burden to the health system. This is, and we estimate this reduction of 90% of the cases of HIV, new cases of HIV, and 90% of the death. And this will be eliminated, mean that the country eliminated. And this is happening in Norway, in UK, in Sydney, in Australia, and in the city. It's being eliminated because the PrEP, the PEP, the people testing very earlier and started treatment and taking every day the pill. And doing this promotion with the community to make sure that anybody can go to the clinic. You don't need to be a key population to go to the clinic for an HIV test. This need to be taken. Everybody should have this. So it's possible, and actually the first step for this elimination, that is eliminate at least mother to child, has been achieved in Belize. So potentially the future is to try to advance, and everybody know the status. And PAHO has designated some awards for that, this pathway to the elimination. The countries receive a bronze medal, a silver medal, and then a gold medal when they eliminate and certify the elimination. So it's something we are starting this year. Actually started in December. We will be presenting this also in IIS in the meeting here in Belize.
Also, we're getting an award? Yeah. What are we getting?
No. We are not giving the award. We are presenting the path, you know.
We
are
the concept
doing,
of how you move from bronze to silver.
So it will incentivize health institutions or ministries to push even harder to advocate. Mr. Kano, I want to bring it back to the symposium itself and what it means for us here in Belize to have something like this on an international scale. Who will be here, and how can people get involved?
Well, thank you. I see at the back we have it. So they have a save the date, and for those people who have not registered, well, you can still attend. You can register, and you can also attend without registering. Thanks to Will Moreno for donating the photo for a flyer, of course, because this is Belize.
Yes.
This is by downtown now. So that's positive for us. Well, who will be attending? We have people from all across the healthcare field. So we have specialists, we have doctors, we have adherence counselors. We also have persons that work within the community and do community work, and anyone else who would like to attend. We do have international presenters and we have local presenters. Why do we believe this is important? Well, it's important because it shows the local context, and also we can get that global perspective. We are going to have presentation on lenacapavir, which hopefully is it could be a game changer. We don't have it in Belize yet, but hopefully we can get it in the future, which is like twice a year you get an injection that prevents you from getting HIV. We'll have presentations on mental health, because we do understand the burden that mental health plays, and it's many times we don't speak about it as much. So the stigma, discrimination has further effects on our people and our population. We'll be talking about HIV self-testing, which recently we did reveal, and how it could potentially impact. So this is just day one, and then day two will be moving into a workshop. So it's quite interesting. I'll be doing an entire presentation on the HIV current status and profile in Belize, so you have to be there early for you to get that one. And of course, the media is also welcome to attend.
All right, and as you said, the date is tomorrow, April 29th.
We start at 9.
All righty. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation. As we wrap things up, I'll ask if you have any final thoughts you'd like to share, Mr. Sued?
Yeah, I think we need to really be more creative and innovative to try to reach those goals, because really, if possible, but we need to change the way we are doing the thing now to do more, you know, with less. And for this reason, I'm connection with other group of people doing things, like as you presented before, artificial intelligence in health, in order to identify people that can benefit more, or detect people that can be loss of follow-up, and also different situations in different countries, providing innovation like mobile clinics, or like doing PrEP in different areas, that not only in the hospital setting or not only by the prescribing doctor. You know, some country changing regulation, like in São Paulo, you can go in the subway and take the PrEP from one vending machine, or a nurse can prescribe PrEP. So there's a lot of potential way to improve or to generate more access and awareness. And so hopefully we can try to do this in several countries, not only in Belize. Thank you.
Mr. Canel, final thoughts?
Well, we have PrEP available, we have PEP available, and we have ARV treatment for those who need it. Again, free of cost. And these things do prevent HIV. And if you have HIV, it saves your life and you live longer. You can go into advanced age and still live healthy and get pregnant. So.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure having both of you here. We thank you so much. We invite you guys to attend the symposium as well. As Mr. Cano mentioned, you don't even have to register. You can just go there as well. It will be at the Grand Resort here in Belize City, and it all takes place tomorrow. So please take advantage of that. We thank you guys, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is Digi gearing up for their scholarship program.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Bye, bro. Take a quick pic of you right here, bro.
Alright, wait a second. Why? By the looks of it, I think my phone done.
Bye. Please tell me, I want to use that thing again, bro.
If I be serious and I be honest with you, I can't afford to spend big money on phone right now.
Bye, but who said anything about spending big money? Smarter than the agric. They got phone deals, plans, they have everything that agric right now.
No, man.
But yes, it happen right now. Plus, they even have raffle and they raffle money, then they raffle TV, everything.
Well, I think we need to ride the agric right now.
But I agree, let's go right now.
Visit the Smart Booth any of the 3 days from May 1st to 3rd at Agric 2026. Get amazing deals on phones and plans and your chance to win a cell phone, 55-inch TV, and cash. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back. This is our final conversation, and we are joined by representatives from Digi. We have here with us Cesaria Cuellar. She's a senior communications representative. And also with us is Nestor Pablo, also with us, and he is a senior marketing representative. Guys, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us. It's always great to be here sharing, one of our biggest initiatives that, truly impacts our community. So very happy to be here.
Just recently we had you guys on the couch with us talking about, just getting the word out, getting the buzz out that the scholarship program from Digi is coming back. Now, I know for a very long time, Digi has been doing its part in providing scholarship opportunities to young people hoping to further their education. We were just talking earlier, actually, about how much different times are now, because education is something that's a lot more easily accessible. However, Digi is still continuing in providing its support to persons who would like to further their education, not only for secondary schools anymore, but even in some cases tertiary as well. Let's begin by perhaps getting that background information for those who might not have been a part of that conversation or tuning in just a few weeks ago. Digi's scholarship program. How long has this been around?
Okay, so this year marks 35 years, so we're super happy, 35 years, and throughout all these years we have impacted over 800 students, that have passed through our program. So we're excited to have another set onboarding this year. This year is extra meaningful because we are expanding our program. We saw the need to expand, so we are including the tertiary level scholarships. So we are providing a total of 50 scholarships, 40 high school scholarships, and 10 tertiary.
If there's one thing that I think is worthy of mentioning, it's that with 35 years, a legacy so long, I could imagine you have persons who would have gained this scholarship and now even work at Digi as well, right? What are some of the stories that you have gotten from people who have gained this scholarship maybe 10, 15 plus years ago, and now they find themselves in that full circle experience working at Digi?
Pablo? We have had so many inspiring stories at Digi. We currently have a person which is working in the marketing department with us, and which received this scholarship.
Naya, right?
Yes, Naya. Yes. And her experience going through the application process and getting the scholarship, and now being in this working environment, thanks to Digi. I mean, we encourage everyone to apply. You never know. After this scholarship, you'll receive another scholarship because how you're doing at school, right? So
what do you hope students gain from the scholarship?
I mean, it's more the experience. Everybody wants to have this experience at school and make friends, but also gaining more knowledge. We have students that they want to be pilot, they want to be doctors, and that's the story we gain from them when we do the interviews.
And just to add to what Nestor is saying, personally traveling and seeing all these students in different communities, they're very bright, so full of potential, and sometimes in many cases all they need is that extra little push, and this is exactly what this program does.
I see one of the requirements, there's a maximum 300 words addressing several things. Can you tell us a bit about that?
This is for our tertiary level applicants. We do require a personal statement.
Why?
It's just to get a feel of what they want to be, what they want to become, how they're going to help their communities after, how are they going to help, what's their career goals.
And 300 isn't a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's like a paragraph.
It's not a lot, but it's not a lot, but it's just to get a feel, of what they want to be.
And then at tertiary level, you're already thinking.
And even one 300 words is even one page.
How hard do you or how critical do you look at that paper in making the decision?
Well, we do have a committee that sits down and vets all the applications. And like I said, these students are very bright, you can see there's potential. So it's these little things that, give the committee a better feel, of what they want to become, how much they want it. So it makes it a little easier for the committee when, they need to make that decision.
For sure, and I hope the committee can detect AI, right? But that is, give me 300 words AI.
No, but see, this is where the one-to-one interview, comes in place. Yes.
Tell me about that aspect of it.
I mean, we want to know the student. We want to, because we also invite their parents to come with them, and we want to know what they're aspiring for, what is their goal, if they want to further their studies after it,
So you really get a sense of who they are outside of the paper that they've submitted.
Yes.
I like that approach. I think schools should apply that, where you give you an essay, but also I want to interview you to make sure that is actually using all
and
this.
and the interview is not something to scare them, or it's just the committee having a conversation, getting to know them more.
What else, what other requirements you all have on the list of requirements?
As you can see on the screen there.
Yes, so they do need to provide a copy of their birth certificate. The parent needs to provide a copy of their ID. Proof of acceptance from the school that they want to attend, proof of income for the parents. Now, with this, we have made a little bit of adjustment, because in past years, they had to provide a TD4, and with a lot of self-employed people, so this year we've made a little adjustment whereby they can just provide an employment letter or an income letter if they're self-employed, an income letter, and have that signed by a justice of the peace.
Why is this part important to know income?
Because we got a lot of feedback, and a lot of parents, held back from, or a lot of students held back from applying because their parents, not necessarily, they have small little jobs, or farmers, so they can't provide that TD4. So we saw the need, especially since we want to help kids, in the rural communities, we had to make that adjustment.
Underserved.
Yes.
Okay.
Another adjustment that we made as well on the application is past years we were asking that both parents, their information be placed on the application. And with the dynamics of families nowadays, we have a lot of single parent families. So this year, only one parent or guardian can apply.
Let's look at the other requirements quickly before we
let's
move
go
on. So we were at the TD form. Okay, so this
report cards.
Yes. So for the high school, we require report cards for the standards 4, 5, and 6, showing a minimum of 80 average. A letter of recommendation from the teacher
or principal.
For the 6th form, it's
Can we move things along?
Can we move it along?
It's for the 4 years, so we do require to see for the high school, and they need to have a minimum of 3.0.
Why is education important to Digi? Why are you guys supporting other students with their education?
Well, education is one, we've seen that it's, a tool to just advance and grow. And we are all about, seeing how we can help our communities grow and how best we can assist. So that's why, we're so invested in this program, and seeing how we, as the years go by, how we can continue it and expand and expand our reach.
I'd say we have for a different set of requirements for the 6th form.
It's a little bit different.
I see an age range as well that I think is important.
Yes. So for the 6th form, it's the ages between 15 to 24 for them to apply. They need to have a GPA of 3.0 across, the 4 years of their high school. They need to provide their acceptance letter. Provide their income letter or employment letter. They need to provide the birth paper, acceptance of the school. Likewise, if they're self-employed, they do that income letter, letter of employer.
You all are providing $25,000 or less per year, or that's
that's for the income, proof of income.
And I just wanted to add on that, because 25,000 is not a cap. I mean, if you make 25,000, you can apply. You know, if you make a little bit more, I mean, you can still apply.
You can still apply, because you know sometimes we have parents that have reached out that you know they are making more, but they are the sole providers and they have multiple
more children.
Yes, so you know we definitely look into all of that.
A case by case basis.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
How are you all now navigating the fact that free education has expanded across the country, especially among high schools?
Yes, we do. That's one of the main reasons why we saw the need to expand into the tertiary level, you know. And I know we're saying we're offering 10, but there is room, you know, for that to increase, because we do see that, you know, a lot of these high schools, like you said, are being funded. So it's less applications that we're getting on that end, which is fine. But, you know, we just want to let our students know when you're applying, we're not telling you to what school you want to apply. So if you want to go to a private school, you can apply. You can apply, and we cover the 4 years of tuition along with the cost of books.
Oh, I like that.
That's a great opportunity.
Yeah, because it doesn't create a barrier.
Yes.
Right? You're open.
You have an option.
You have essentially an option. And what do you all provide for the high schoolers and the tertiary students in terms of what do they receive with this scholarship, and is there an accountability aspect throughout the studies? Those two questions.
Yes.
Well, we you know, for students who receive this scholarship, you know, we check with them in regards to their grades, and if they are doing, you know, good at school, you know, that's good. But if they're doing they're kind of their grades is kind of low, then we reach out to them and see what's happening, right? Or we reach out to the school and see what's happening.
Is there any type of support given to the students if needed?
Yes, it is a case by case, but we do, because when we do reach out to them and see, you know, what the issue is and see how we can help. And if it's something that, you know, they do need a tutor, they do need assistance, we try best and see how we can assist them with that and, you know, to get their grade up. But like Pablo was saying, you know, with the high school, they are getting their tuition for the 4 years along with the cost of books. For our tertiary level applicants, they get up to 2,500 per year.
2,500. What's 2,500?
2,500. Yeah.
A year.
A year.
All right.
That's a good. I feel like isn't that like the okay, 2,500. Okay, got it.
Yeah. How has the application been looking like since you are launched? How many people have applied?
I don't have a number to pin on it, but for the high school, it has been a little bit lower, you know. But we have our sixth form students that have been taking advantage and applying. Yeah.
So 10 spaces is what you have originally set, but you also mentioned that there's a potential for that to expand if there are more applications. What are the stories that you're looking for? Who are you trying to give these scholarships to? I know for a lot of people, they tend to feel like they need a sad story to apply for scholarships like this.
It's true. Type it into AI. Give me a very sad 300 words.
You know,
make them cry.
Then you'll need to back it up when they're called in for the interview.
But who are you hoping to give these scholarships to?
We're just looking, you know, for students that are truly inspired and have a dream. We want to help them in their dream, you know, accomplishing. Like I said, a lot of these students are very bright and all they need is just that little push. Like we've had students that, you know, have applied by themselves, borrowed a device,
love that,
applied,
We had someone from PG coming to the ceremony
yes,
by himself.
By himself. His parents weren't able to make the appointment, so he traveled on bus by himself with his sister's device so that he could keep in touch. And you know, it's little stories because you can see how much they want it, and that's what we want to see.
Do you all currently have students on scholarship attending institutions? Yeah.
Yes, we have students.
At the moment, we have 231 students on the program.
Wow. Across high schools and tertiary? Or
this is just high schools. This is our first year. We're expanding into tertiary.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a lot of students. You're funding them yearly. So every year they get a different set of funds to continue their education.
Yes.
200, how much is it?
31.
231. Okay, so when does applications close?
Okay, so applications close on May 29th. So they have just a month, to get everything in order and apply. You know, they can visit our website, www.livedigi.com/scholarship, or applications are there, so they can apply live there and submit. For those that are unable to apply online, they can visit any Digi store and ask for a physical application, fill that out, get all their documents. Once they have their package ready, they can drop it off at any Digi store.
After the application deadline, when will applicants know if they've been accepted or not?
After the applications close, I think after 2 weeks they'll be hearing from one of our reps, because we'll be vetting. So they'll be hearing, those will be hearing that need to come in for interviews, and the others that did not meet all the requirements, you know, will also be getting a call.
And then there's this big ceremony. We actually give it.
Yes, we do have a ceremony. This will be in July, where all our new recipients come in, and you know, we make it all about them. They get their certificates and sign their contracts and all the good things.
And we hear a lot of stories at the ceremony as well, from students who already have this scholarship.
Oh, right, yes. I know you. That's a part that you feature students that already have the scholarship.
Yes, we do. Last year we had a student who was valedictorian from Providence SDA in Toledo. Yeah.
That's a high school?
Yes.
Okay.
He came in and you know, he spoke to the students. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, I mean you hear these stories and it's so impactful when you think about the way these kids express the fact that without this scholarship, I would have likely been unable to go through high school and complete high school. And then there you have a student that became a valedictorian, right? Simply largely because they had support from Digi, a technology company, right? Assisting students in the field of education. What does that mean for you all personally?
I mean, you know, that says a lot from the student, you know, and it means a lot to Digi. And we had a story from a student where he says that, you know, to do his homework, he used to use a data plan from Digi that Digi used to offer, right? We don't have that plan anymore, but he used to use the data plan, and he used to do his homework. You know, that says, you know, how much effort he puts into, you know, his studies.
And it takes the pressure off parents as well.
Yes.
For a lot of households that have to try to figure out how they will prioritize an education for their children.
Yes.
Some children having to, you know, chip in and help their parents work to be able to go to school as well. That takes the load off of parents as well. Have you heard from some of those parents?
Yes, and surprisingly, you know, when we have these students for interviews, you hear a lot of stories, and it takes the pressure off the student as well. There are many students that say, oh my God, like, it's going to be a great help for my parents. They don't need to think, you know, how they're getting this. He doesn't need to worry that, you know, maybe he can't finish the school year because he needs to, you know, stop work and help parents. So it's a pressure off the students as well. And it makes us happy to hear these stories.
All right. Well, as we wind down the conversation, once more we want to remind our viewers, our future recipients of the Digi Scholarship, when they need to submit their applications and, of course, what needs to be included in it.
Yes. So applications close on May 29th. So there's more than enough time. Just, you can visit our website, www.livedigi.com/scholarship, to get a list of the requirements, but it does include, a copy of your birth paper, your acceptance letter from your school of choice, ID from your parents, an income letter from your parents for the tertiary level students. If you are working, then you provide your own income letter. Report cards 4, 5, and 6, or the high school report cards if you are applying for the tertiary level.
And this is only for persons who are beginning the school,
Yes.
not not those who are already enrolled.
Yes, this is first-time applicants, so students, applying to high school for the first time, or tertiary level students applying for the first time.
Just one final question. Have you all thought about what you will do if you accept a student that is going to a free education institution? Like, how will you navigate that if their tuition is covered and other things are covered? Because you'll have students out there that have applied and accepted to a free education high school, and they might think, should I apply? What benefits can I get from this if my tuition and books are covered?
Well, I mean, we are vetting out all applications, so if we see that they are applying to a school that it's,
everything
being
is
funded,
covered.
we do reach out to them and let them know, I do believe now if they have other options, because in the application they have they can list 3 high schools that they want to attend. So if we see that there's another high school that's not funded, then we let them know that or we ask which is the high school that they prefer to go to, so that we can better know and how to navigate that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us once more. We appreciate the opportunity to remind you guys of what is out there, those who would like to further their education for secondary and tertiary scholarships. We wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
All right, we take our final break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have one final discussion, just a reminder of Wonder Woman set to take place to premiere tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Kaya district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easier for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
Bye, bro. Take a quick pic of me right here, bro.
All right. Wait a second. Why? By the looks of it, I think my phone done.
Bye. Please tell me, I want to use that thing again, bro.
If I be serious and I be honest with you, I can't afford to spend big money on phone right now.
Buy, but who say anything about spending big money? Smarter than the agric. They got phone deals, plans, they have everything that agric right now.
No man.
But yes, it happen right now. Plus, they even have raffle and they raffle money, then they raffle TV, everything.
Well, I think we need to ride the agric right now.
But I agree, let's go right now.
Visit the Smart Booth any of the 3 days from May 1st to 3rd at Agric 2026. Get amazing deals on phones and plans and your chance to win a cell phone, 55-inch TV, and cash. Smart, bringing people together.
Thank you for sticking with us. We are wrapping things up, but we want to leave on a high note, reminding our viewers to log in, stop in with us tonight because we will be premiering our first episode of 3 for our Wonder Woman docu-series. You would know that earlier this year, Wonder Woman took place, and it's essentially this competition within the security forces where women from the Coast Guard, from the Belize Defense Force, and from the Belize Police Department compete against each other with grueling activities, as you are seeing on screen, to determine which one of the security forces are the Wonder Women of the year. Wonder Woman Challenge 2026.
The Belize Defense Force, right?
Emerged victorious this year.
Victorious this year. Listen, I cannot do half, if not quarter, of what these women are doing. The swimming part alone would have taken me out. And then I see them climbing. The running part, oh, forget it.
The pull-up?
Oh my gosh.
The push-up?
The running, the push-up I can handle and leave it. That's the only one, maybe. But they run with these huge backpacks on their backs, the weighted running. But we've also been able to capture some very personal and emotional moments in this competition. I saw where one police officer, after completing the run, cried. She was in tears because even though they didn't win the segment, she was in tears because she completed it.
Yeah.
And she had lost her mother a couple months back, and she stood there in the interview crying, saying she knows her mother would have been proud of her for completing.
That's giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, and so that's the type of production we're looking at here with this Wonder Woman docu-series. It's never been done like this before. This is the first time. This is the biggest. This is the grandest. This is the best docu-series for Wonder Woman that you will ever witness. And so if you miss it out, you're going to miss out a really, really nice treat. So I want to encourage people to tap in tonight and to you know, you can only pay for that thing, and we just to give it to it, once you're tuned into News 5.
And it takes me to the march that took place also this year, where we saw again the women from the security forces marching in Belize City, and really that sense of pride that we got when we saw that. And so to be able to see them in action doing some of these grueling activities that really are just activities that they do on training days as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. So where will it be aired? Like, will you have it on all platforms?
On GBM. Yes, on GBM's platform tonight at 7:30 p.m. And so you can catch it on cable TV, on our social media platforms as well. And so that's Facebook and YouTube. GBM's streaming live on YouTube. This will be, as Paul said, one of a kind. I know last year we also highlighted our Wonder Woman coverage, but this year we are giving you a 3-part series. And so you'll be able to see what those 3 days look like. So tonight, the 28th, tomorrow, the 29th, and then the 30th
3 days back
as
to back.
well. It was a 3-day competition, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to see day to day what it looked like for these women leading up to finding out who the champions were. And you get to determine, we know how it ended, but you'll get to see as well who you're rooting for, what it was like for those 3 days. And I know in some cases, it might even encourage people to go out perhaps next year and support them in person as well. So we just have to say kudos to the team behind the scenes who were covering it. Paul, I know you mentioned that you went one of the days as well to capture the sights and sounds for the news, but also congratulations to Benita Keme Palacio and Ricardo Romero. I know Mr. Barro as well, Cleon Barro was a part of the team.
I wasn't there, I just did the story.
And even Sheena as well. But thank you so much to the team behind the scenes. And again, we invite you guys to tune in tonight at 7:30 p.m. But we have to wrap things up, Paul. Thank you to everyone who joined us. It is the 28th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a message, a birthday shout out, or an email, you can email us at oie@greaterbelize.com.
You can also catch us live on Facebook every weekday morning at Open Your Eyes BC, as well as Instagram for all the behind the scenes content. That's OYE Belize, as well as TikTok, where you catch us live. We're live every morning at 6:20 on TikTok. That's openyoureyes.bz.
And we have a phone number where you can call us or text us. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts wide open.
Have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.